Okay then, welcome to another video on my channel. Now today I'm doing something a little bit different to normal. It's kind of a reverse video if you like, because out there on the internet there's a lot of people that will show you how to take apart your High Capa Mags, which means that a lot of people have access to this information of how to take yours apart. But what not a lot of people cover is the maintenance of the mags. So if you're having lots of issues with it, how to fix leaks, how to do stuff like that, any problem detection. And then often people tell you how to take it apart, but nobody ever shows you how to put it back together again. And I don't know. I feel like for me, if I watch a video of somebody putting something together, I automatically know how to take it back apart again, because you're just reversing the steps. Whereas sometimes taking it apart is one thing, but then trying to squeeze everything back together again, pinching stuff, you don't want to damage anything when you're putting something back together. Taking it apart's the easy part, right? So I'll show you how to maintain your High Cap Mags. This is a High Cap Mag that was supplied with my Sand Viper. This is the mag that often people know I don't like, because this thing leaks all the time or has major issues. The valves are rubbish. They're all a bit rubbish, this mag. So a lot of people I play with know that, because this is the mag I tend to leave at home, even though it's the one that came with the gun. I'd rather run 3 of the much better mags that are made by other companies than the ones made by EMG. They're just not that great. Okay, but let's get started. First things first, what do we maintain? What things do we need to look out for if it's leaking or having issues? And then where do we go from there? So first things first, the things that will wear out on your mags, or things that you may want to change on your mags for better performance, are going to be your feed lips. These will get damaged over time. Feed lips for high cappers are pretty cheap and affordable and pretty universal. You do have to check sometimes though, because on some mags I found you've got a takedown pin at the front and the back, sometimes just the front, so you do need to figure out which way round or what kind of feed lips you need. I think some of them can be specific to the mags, but as far as I'm aware, everything's TM standard. Other things that will need maintenance over time, sometimes the kind of gas routing lips here. These are little kind of squishy rubber lips. You can get kind of aftermarket ones that will kind of give you slightly higher performance for gas kind of throughput. But again, these can wear out. They can also get damaged and get nicked. When we put this back in to the mag in a minute, I'll show you how to do it so you don't damage it and you put it back in. Valves. Now, valves shouldn't ever really need, or kind of to a degree shouldn't need replacing, but they do need maintenance. There is an O-ring at the front and the back, okay, and the whole thing may need cleaning too. Compressed air is a great thing to clean them with. If you've got any grit or rubbish stuck in there, we've all dropped things on the floor and got rubbish stuck in here, there and everywhere. And then, yeah, like I said, the O-rings will sometimes need lubing. One thing I can tell you with this is if you do run something like maintenance gas, so I've got a bottle over here somewhere hidden away. This is what I run, and the Predator maintenance gas. The bonus with this is not only will it lube your actual gun when you put this through and fire it, kind of dry fire your blowback pistol. It will also help lube all the O-rings inside your mag. So I tend to find that if this mag is leaking, rather than taking all of the valves out, and there's 2 in this, you've got this is your kind of this is your percussion valves. This is what the hammer inside your gun strikes, okay, and then this is the fill valve. I believe this is a one-way, not a two-way fill valve. The difference is this won't allow you to fill your, let me get it to focus there. The focus eventually, maybe. No, there we go. This won't allow you to fill your magazine reservoir to the max, whereas Tokyo Marui fill valves, they're two-way, so they'll let out stuff so you can fill it up with kind of liquid propane or whatever you want to put inside your mags. So that's kind of a cheaper valve there. So you can replace them and change them. But yeah, this should lube your O-rings quite nicely. There is one other O-ring, which you often is the main thing that kind of breaks inside pistol mags, is this square O-ring here. People do say you can replace this with just a round O-ring and it will kind of form with time. I've not tried it personally myself, but you can buy replacement ones of these. Pretty much most airsoft shops stock them because they are a thing that goes wrong fairly often. This is also another thing you can pinch and damage. That's why over tightening your mags is always a bit of a dangerous thing. Awesome. So those are kind of things that you often have to fix and replace. So obviously the whole mag's apart right now. So the first thing I would say you need to do is when you're putting your mag back together again, is probably the last thing you take off quite often is the feed lips. The reason being is if you take your The base plate off first allows you to safely remove your spring and feed guide without having it shoot out the top as you're taking the feed lips off. So best way to do this is pop your rubber inside of the things inside the feed lips themselves, and you take the top of your mag. Okay, now with this one, I found this one you have to kind of push the back in a little bit first. So push the back in a little bit first, and then put pressure on the whole unit. What you want to do is you want to make sure this doesn't drop. If this suddenly drops away, if I push it like that, if I push down now, there's a good chance that the very sharp metal inside this mag that I've already cut myself on today is going to absolutely shred the rubber. So you want to make sure it stays in line. Actually, I'll show you how I did it kind of before. This is the issue. It's a bit finicky. You kind of take and push in from the front backwards. This whole thing kind of seats a lot nicer. Once you get it in, it can be a bit of a pain though, because the tolerances on this mag are very tight. There you go. So you can kind of see now that's all in place. And then you just want to find where everything fits in its little groove. Kind of push down, and then it will kind of snap into place. And then you want to put pressure on this here to make sure this is all seated properly. There you go. There's your feed lips back on. Now you want to remember which way you took your mag pin out, and you push that back through the way it went in. Okay, I don't actually have a tool to probably do pins, so I kind of just use the edge of my screwdriver here. The one thing I will say is, there you go, don't leave anything sticking out, because again you will damage the inside of your gun if it sticks out. It should be smooth and flush. And there is your feed lips put back on. Again, you can replace the router, you can replace your feed lips while we're doing this process. You can actually see that this feed lip's doing pretty well because I have not used it. Okay, second thing, we're going to pop our kind of percussion valve in here. Now you do need a special tool for this, so you do need a valve key. These are also sold in most airsoft shops, or most decent airsoft shops. Be careful though, because these are all CNC'd and pretty much the same. Everybody sells them everywhere. I've seen these in shops for 20 quid. They should be between kind of £3 and £6. Honestly, online, if you go online for these, you can buy these off AliExpress for like 99p. So don't overpay for these, because for some reason they seem to be a thing that people think they can overcharge from a lot of airsoft shops. Don't be afraid in an airsoft shop as well. I get this all the time. Don't be afraid in a shop just to go, hey, this is way too expensive. Do you do price matching? I actually did that recently in a shop that I visited. I was like, this is ridiculously expensive. Do you do price matching? And they said, yeah, it's fine. They do. A lot of places do price matching now. But I find like some airsoft shops take advantage of you not knowing how much something's worth, so they'll overcharge you on purpose. Oh, don't let that fall out. This is just the oh god, I'm gonna lose all of my stuff here now. Oh, another little O-ring that we missed about earlier is on the end of this screw that holds the mag together. There is a little rubber kind of donut there that also can be lubed. I would actually say that one's an important one to lube, because it's the one place that gas doesn't particularly easily get to. Now, oh goodness, this is the hardest part, to hold everything together while you're doing your work. There we go. Cool. Right. Then you take your other valve, you stick that one in too. Again, you're going to need your valve key for this one. This one, I've seen people do with screwdrivers. Don't do it. The reason why I say don't do it is if you do this with a screwdriver, you're going to damage your fill valve head. That means that you're going to have to fiddle around a lot, or you're going to get poor fills. This is why I say to people, like, I personally only will use, try not to strip anything and damage it too, like I nearly just did. I always say to people, try not to over tighten stuff, but yeah, or try not to buy bottles with plastic feed things on them, because I tend to find they never fill properly. Whereas, what is it on here? So this is a plastic one. I tend to find that I can't fill properly on the plastic ones. This one's always a bit dodgy. However, Nuprol, not advertising Nuprol here, but metal feed ones, these work 10 times better, honestly. Way easier to fill your mags. Anyways, so yeah, so once that's all back in, that bottom plate is now finished and ready to go. So now you need to do your spring and feeding guide. Now you need to make sure that there is a cutout on the side of your magazines, which is the bit of plastic that shoots up to tell your gun to catch your catch your slide lock, or a kind of bolt release thing if you're using other kind of gas blowback guns. But yeah, this should all fit in nice and snug. Everything should be right around. And you just want to compress your spring. Now I would say don't compress your springs too much. Try and just find a kind of a comfortable thing where you can just hold the end of the spring, because what you don't want to do is you get the spring trapped in anything as you're putting stuff back in. And just gently kind of feed your stuff here, because what your actual spring does, if you do it right, this bit here, this little button that is for base plates, and your spring is actually, have a look here, your spring is actually a thing that, sorry if I'm not showing you guys the best, the spring's actually a thing that kind of keeps everything together. Awesome, cool. Righty-ho. Now once you get to this point, you just want to make sure everything fits nice and flush, okay, like this, because one thing you've got to be careful of is, again, tightening the screws where you don't have, tightening the screws when you don't have a good fit, because again you can accidentally pinch important parts of the mag where you don't want to pinch important parts of the mag. Again, like I said, those O-rings, and those O-rings I think aren't cheap if you buy the proprietary ones, so not proprietary ones, the branded ones, so from the actual brands. I think Vorsk do the replacement O-rings because they fit most High Capa Mags, the Vorsk pistols. I know there's some TM spare parts, but TM spare parts are always hard to come by and they're always expensive, without a doubt. Now then, once we get to this stage, before you pop your base plate back on, which I'll show you how to do in a second, always test your gun, always test your mag. So this is probably going to leak because this mag always has issues. That's why I wasn't afraid of taking it apart, because oh wow, that actually, I may have actually finally fixed this thing. I'll hold it close and to kind of be quiet for a second. There you go, no noise. Okay, it is filled up with the maintenance gas rather than the green gas, which is slightly higher pressure, so I have to say. But that's actually, I'm actually pleasantly surprised. There you go, I actually am lost for words that this mag is holding gas as it should do. Last thing is sticking your base plates back on. Most base plates are all the same. Sometimes they have a retainer, which works with this button here. So it kind of slips on and just clips on. These ones, again, which I absolutely hate because the fill hole is also tiny, and as per usual, it's made out of the same paint they put on the actual Sandviper, so it wears off pretty quick. Just slides across the back to front, like so. Push that down, and then push this pin up, just so you can see the pin's exposed there slightly. There's a hole at the side. You have to take one of your little hex bits, and then just screw that down. Once you've screwed that down, it'll lock this little bit in place at the bottom, so I shouldn't be able to push that now with my finger. This little stumpy bit here, and then your base plate's in. Like I said, base plate's rubbish because it wiggles. To give you an idea, these are the mags I use on a regular basis, which never leak and I've never had an issue with. No wiggle in the base plate whatsoever, and the base plate's made out of better quality paint, and the base plate's got a bigger hole in it. This is the Action Army? No. Oh God. Something. This is a slightly different brand Sandviper mag that I picked up. These are cheaper. They are better quality with the base plates. Oh, there's a little bit bigger than this one, should I say, but not much. It's probably because I've just made it loose by wiggling it. They don't leak as often, and I quite like the slimline black. A lot of people say that the reason why the mag that comes with the Sandviper is silver is because it's a sport gun and it's supposed to be silver, because it's like that's like the theme, but nobody outside of America does that shit, so... Long story short, we don't have that here in the UK. Black mags for the win. Who on earth wants to go into a tactical environment with a mag that shines? Makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Anywho, that's my one controversial opinion of the day. I'm sure I'll get some hate in the comments for that one, but hopefully that's taught you guys... I put the wrong mag back. Hopefully that's taught you guys that kind of how to take your mags apart, general maintenance, stuff like that. Again, you can test your mags after you've got them out, make sure everything recedes back in again, make sure everything holds gas as it should do. If you've got any questions, leave them for me in the comments. I'll try my best to try and help you guys through any issues you're having. If you're having leaks from weird and wonderful places, sometimes the best answer is just to replace your valves. They're not expensive, they're like a couple of quid each. So, and you normally can buy them in a multi-pack, so you kind of set for life on valves. But yeah, sometimes a valve replacement is all you need, because maybe your hammer's hitting the back of the valve's not coming back properly, and that's where your leak's coming from. It's the reset's kind of getting a bit cruddy and stuck. But yeah, hopefully I'm going to do another teardown video in the future of my MP7 gas mags. It's just I only have one currently and it's airtight, and to be perfectly honest with you, I don't like dancing with the devil with stuff like that, so if it's not got anything wrong with it, I'm not going to take it apart just yet. Otherwise, hopefully that's been useful for you all, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your afternoon.